we're back with your global business now, getting to the markets later. But first, let's look at the government of Ghana, which is expected to receive at least $1.1 billion in fresh funding support from the World Bank and the IMF next month. And this comes as President Nana Akufo-Addo's administration walks the final mile to a debt rescheduling deal with key creditors such as China and others. Let's take this down to the market street in Accra. Michael Asare, who's a research analyst at African Securities, joined me on the show. Good evening, Michael. Thank you for coming through tonight. We'll try to establish the contact with you and get it. I hope you are having a good, nice time in the new year. But let's start first very quickly. Walk me through the Ghana market. How did you finish off last year despite this turbulent fiscal environment?
Thank you very much. So if you look at the latest inflation figure that came in for December 2023, it came in around 23.2% when you compare it to at the start of the year where we're around 54, 53. That reflects a significant drop in the headline inflation. Now, while I believe that the significant drop in the headline inflation was attributed to a higher base effect, I think that the tightening monetary policy stance that the central bank undertake throughout last year had also had a significant impact on that. I mean, in its latest MPC update, it raised the policy rate to 30% and also made an adjustment in other liquidity management tools to be able to tame inflationary pressures. Now, if you look at the fiscal side, the government structural reforms undertaken, underpinned by the IMF program, is also yielding a positive result. If you look at the 8-month fiscal outing results, you could see that the total revenue and grants came up around 39%, while expenditure line items were contained due to the fiscal adjustment. So broadly, you could see that the fiscal and monetary measures or programs that were undertaken in previous years are yielding positive results. And of course, we expect that to be able to bring in more outings for this year.
Yes, so for this year at African Securities, what's your outlook on the new year? It's just getting off to the second week. How is the market expected to position to further policies and actions of the government and that of the central bank? The central bank just licensed about 16 new FX dealers. The government is expected to get about $1.1 billion from the World Bank and IMF very soon as the deal with China and other creditors are done. So do you think this will lift the stock market? Do you think that will help Ghana get more foreign investment and again lift how investors' sentiments will be for the new year?
Yes, I strongly believe that we will continue to see the recovery journey that that started in 2023. So yes, you could see broadly that reflecting in our macros. I've already mentioned of the inflation and then the currency too as well. In the last 2 quarters of last year, we experienced much more stability when the 6 million IMFS tranche inflow came in. And as well, the central banks also continuous liquidity support on the market. So coming into this new year, I think in this month, what has been the headline is the government engagement with official creditors, and when the committee will be able to get the restructuring terms ready for the government, and that will pave a way for the IMF and subsequently World Bank to be able to provide about $1.1 billion to us to be able to support the economy. So I believe with the improvement in macroeconomic conditions, if authorities are be able to facilitate with the restructuring terms, we are hopeful that will continue to lift investor confidence on the market. For this year, I am expecting to see more on the equity markets rally. I believe that the central bank's regulatory measures, relief that was given to the banks in the previous years, are yielding results, and I expect that to translate into a positive earnings recovery for them. And since they constitute a significant proportion of the stock market, a recovery on that sector will lift the overall equity market.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for bringing us up to speed on Ghana's market, raising the curtain, as it were, as we step into New Year. All the best to you over there, sir. And thank you, and have a good night there in Accra. That's Michael Asare, research analyst at African Securities. Thank you so much.